Hi gang, Rob here. It is the afternoon of 27 April 2025. Getting ready to mount the old 1990 VFR 750, go for a Sunday ride. Thought we'd do a little MotoVlog today. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll figure it out. I think we're going to talk about riding in a sporting fashion on the street in a safe, comfortable, and quickish fashion today, and how to get old doing it and not die. Here we go. It's a gorgeous day today. Temperature is in the high 60s, very little wind blowing. Try to keep my speeds down while I'm talking so you guys can actually hear what I'm saying. We got a little bit of road ahead of us before we get to one of the better roads in the area that I live. And I'm going to tell you right up front, there ain't many. So we're going to head up to Kendallville, a little north of Kendallville, as a matter of fact. We're going to ride a road called Angling Road, A-N-G-L-I-N-G. Why is it called that? Well, because it angles. It's neither north and south, nor east and west. And it's kind of twisty. It's a country road in a country county, and that's what they named it. I used to live right off that road back in my drinking and drugging days. I had a little incident on Angling Road. I was driving my 71 El Camino, which was a drunk's car. I'd been in an accident with it. I had a little problem with my hood latch. I think I had it affixed with baling wire. And I had some problems with my headlight grounds. And I had one bad ground and one good one. And my one good headlight burned out on the way into town. So all I had was the one with the bad ground. It didn't really throw any light. So I drove 5 miles on a twisty road in the dark with my parking lamps and my badly grounded headlight. It's an interesting white knuckle ride to the bar. Oh man, I just love this old motorcycle. It is so smooth and solid. And also quite capable. I'm going to cut you guys loose for a few minutes until I get to the fun stuff, and I'll be back. Okay guys, we're getting ready to pull into a little town called Ailla, Indiana. Avilla. A lot of people might say that's pronounced Avia, but we're in the Midwest. We are country Hoosiers, so we say it Avilla. It's a very Catholic little town. I think there are only a couple thousand people that live in Avilla, if that. But as you can see, a very old railroad trestle. Got the Avilla Diner and Dairy Treat. Not a wealthy small town, but a proud small town. Very large Roman Catholic population in Avilla. A very vital Catholic church that will be coming up on the right here in just a minute. Also home to a Methodist church, United Methodist Church, that you can see right there. That is dying because of some of the policies voted in the last conference of the United Methodist Church. People are leaving in droves. How dare they interpret the Bible for themselves correctly? And up here on the right is the Roman Catholic Church in Avilla, St. Mary's. Man, what a gorgeous day. Just a beautiful day for a ride. The pears are blooming. Just a few wispy cirrus clouds in the sky. In a couple of weeks, Heidi and I are headed to Gatlinburg. It'll be nice to see what summer looks like. They usually are about a month ahead of us in how spring and summer unfold. Okay, I'm going to cut you loose again. Not much going on except slab till we get to Kendallville. Okay, boys, we're rolling into Kendallville, Indiana, USA. I would say it's kind of a large, small town. There's about, gosh, I should know this. I think there's about 12,000 people in Kendallville, I think. Lots of industry. Not real well-paying industrial jobs, but lots of industry. The whole town is built kind of on swampy ground. And when they started to expand, they dug a big lake called Bixler Lake and kind of drained the swamp. No kidding, really. And a lot of development happened. Lots of residential neighborhoods are built on that drained land. Not surprising that a town that drained the swamp to exist are some of the reddest voters in the United States. They're into swamp draining here. Some vital churches in Kendallville, some good churches, and juxtaposed against some poverty and some meth problems. But a very charitable community and an interesting community. I'll tell you a little bit about one of our favorite restaurants in Kendallville called the Blue Sky. Used to be part of a chain of restaurants called Richard's, uh, which is kind of a Northeast Indiana thing, casual dining, diner food. Well, this Richard's location was no longer viable, and it it closed and then quickly reopened as the Blue Sky, and it's so interesting, and it's such a great indicator of what Kendallville is about. So it's owned and operated primarily by Mexican folks, and we have some of those in this area, lots of farming. But it is not a Mexican restaurant. By its menu, you would call it kind of a Midwestern Greek diner. You know, a huge menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, uh, everything under the sun, great food, large portions, and you know the staff is mostly Mexican. Got some Americans of European descent mixed in, and then the clientele is equally interesting. You know, Kendallville's large enough that we have some black folks because of industry that's here, and you know, lots of agricultural white folks and lots of Mexican folks. And when everybody is all together at the Blue Sky, there are no black people, there are no white people, there are no city folks, there are no bumpkins, there are no Mexicans. What there are just country folks who have gathered for a meal at the Blue Sky. Everybody gets along well, everybody's cordial. There are relationships built between customers and staff. It's just a great little snapshot of what America ought to look like and how we ought to treat each other. It's amazing in a town this size. Here's the old water tower. In a town this size, you have a very interesting and beautiful thing that happens. People from different backgrounds, from different cultures that don't look like each other, when they're forced to spend time together, just because of the lay of the land, and somebody wants to go get a good meal for not a lot of money in Kendallville, they go to the Blue Sky, right? I just blinker wankered. And they're not that influenced by the news or anybody's agenda, what people say they ought to think about each other. They just treat people as they would treat them by their experience with each other. And it's just this very close, very diverse, happy little town. It's what we all ought to be. Nothing glamorous about Kendallville. It just has a very gracious spirit. All right. So we're heading for Anglin Road, boys. Let's talk about riding in a sporting fashion on the road. Well, first of all, when you're in town, be a responsible defensive rider, right? Don't do things that make it hard for cars to avoid you. Be courteous. Don't shatter speed limits. Go with the flow of traffic. Stay out of people's way. Be courteous. But when you find a nice little piece of road and you're kind of by yourself and you can see what's going on around you, it might be time to giddy up a little. Now, see, this is when your heart sinks because you're coming to one of those roads and you have a big Amazon truck in front of you. So what will we do here, guys? Well, I have a dotted yellow, but I got a car between me and the truck. I got traffic coming the other way. I'm just gonna chill for a minute. See, that would have been a bad place to pass right there. Now I got a double yellow. I got a lingering oncoming truck. Now I got a single and I can see forever. So let's giddy up. Nice little S curve, kind of a high-speed sweeper. Yeah, we're coming into a little more populated area, so we're going to back her down a little. We're still going to ride in a fun manner, but yeah. Nice little sweepy. And again, we're going to come into a more populated area. A little reduced speed limit here. Driveways. Just want to have your head on a swivel in an area like this. Like this curve would be an absolute blast to just kill it, but not the right place, not the right time. That was an interesting little scenario. I just like to cover the horn in spots like that. Just keep a good eye on that vehicle that is supposed to give up the right of way. Keep a good eye on, look at the posture of the vehicle, understand your risk. That's what I should be doing right now. I did a little bit, worked in the garden earlier this afternoon, but I wasn't going to let this day go to waste. Let's see, this would be a good spot. Saw how much room I had, and I could see for half a mile. Here's a little bit of a blind hilltop. Don't want to hit this corner too hard. All right. Gonna make a left here. We'll probably just turn around and do it again. I'll just pull over here in my old apartment building that I lived in. Yeah. I think I was in number 3 back in the day. Just take a chill here for a minute. Somebody just spent a lot of money on this building. Anyway. So yeah. It's kind of a busier Sunday, but we found some gaps in the traffic. And here's the other thing, guys. When we're riding on these public roads, it's okay to have fun. But 9/10 of your maximum velocity through twisties is not appropriate on the street ever. You know, if you're cornering at a speed where if you lose the front end a little bit, you can't recover it, that's not acceptable riding on the street. You know, being on the edge of traction is a horrifyingly bad idea on public roads. Not too often do you see runoff areas designed for stupid motorcyclists, right? There's usually consequences when you leave the road, unlike the track, right? So I'm not a safety Sally by any means. I like to have fun and ride spiritedly on public roads, but you got to pick your spots. That's how you get to do this for 50 years and still be doing it, right? See if we get some more traffic, 3 places to ride this on the way back. Well, this is looking good. I want to be able to talk to you guys, so I'm going to keep it down a little bit. And this is what an April motorcycle ride should look like. Temperature's perfect. We'll get to enjoy this corner. Big sweeper. Hit it with a little velocity. And a little F. Great visibility. Good place to lean her over a little bit. Now I got a crossroad here, so I don't want to be howling out of that corner. Just trying to share with you guys the way that I process things when I'm out for a fun ride. Read the terrain, read the surroundings. Don't put yourself in a position where you're trying to occupy the same space as another vehicle. You will lose that. You will lose that debate. Interesting little compound corner there. I know I took a bit of an interesting line, but it was because of the next one. I just have to chill. I'd love to be hammering this, but I have to chill. You can see what I'm talking about. And while we're on the subject of other vehicles sharing our road with us, it's a really good idea to just wait for your spots and be courteous to other drivers, especially cagers. This would be a great opportunity to zip up to the back bumper and rev bomb. You know, when he brake checks me to, pop the mirror. I mean, that stuff is so idiotic. All it does is cause damage, and it causes people to get angry. There's no reason to cause people to be angry when we're doing something that we want to enjoy. I just want to be at peace with my environment, with my machine, and with other people when I encounter them. Getting in an argument at a stoplight with somebody in a car who you perceive to have aggrieved you in some way, it's just stupid. And here we are back at the ranch. I think that's about enough of me jabbering for today. What do you guys think of the old 90 VFR? I'll probably do a full review and ride video on this one someday in the very near future. I just didn't feel like thinking that hard today. Just wanted to take a little ride, talk to you guys a little bit about whatever pops in my head. Oh, I'm not going to turn here. We got a new little shortcut in Kendallville. Anyway, that is all for this one. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. I think I'm going to go grab me a Red Bull and ride a little more. I will talk to you soon.